Okay, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life coach, and health coach, and I am excited about tonight. I'm excited about this week, and the reason I'm so excited is because I'm launching a new program, and I've signed up, I think about 10 people already. I've got about 20 slots left, and so I want you, if you need this, to get into my program because people's lives are being changed and they're learning how to get healthy. And there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than learning how to get healthy, changing your end of life experience. That's what we want to do. We want to change our end of life experience. My friends tell me that Nancy's got to keep me out of the nursing home program. And honestly, you know, I worked for many years in the nursing home, and I saw people there that literally thought they were there because they had a knee replacement, an amputation, diabetes, a stroke, a heart attack, um, hip replacement, a fall. But I'm going to tell you 99% of the people that I saw there were there because of what they ate. It's nutrition. I'm going to tell you, it's 99% of the issue. And our diseases, we're going to talk about that tonight. Uh, how what we eat is our medicine, really. It's our fuel for our body. And you know, our bodies take us around. So why would we not want to take uh, good care of it? Think about your car. You'd never put dollar gas in your car because it wouldn't run right. And if it sputtered, you'd say, gosh, it was that gas. But we go through the drive-through, we eat dollar meals. Well, they're not, I don't think there are any dollar meals anymore, but we eat foods that are just not healthy, and they're not cheap either. And they cause us to have disease, and they cause us to have to take medicine. So I hope you'll share this video. I do have some prizes that I'm going to give out starting tomorrow. So if you share the video, I'm going to put your name in this box. Every time I do a launch, I do drawings. And let me show you the prizes that I'm going to be giving away tomorrow night. Okay. So I don't know if you're aware of Numi, NutraSwish, and Numi Skin. I just had somebody tell me, they said, your skin looks so good. I'm like, yeah, it's NutraSwish. So here it is right here. It is this is Primus Skin, but it's a spray that I spray on my face every day, twice a day, and it's actually glutathione and hyaluronic acid and L-cysteine. So it is definitely helping my skin. I love it at 65 years old, almost 66. I love it when my skin feels so good. I've gotten rid of all those other products, oils, and all that, and I just spray that on when I get out of the shower. Now, the other prize is going to be Dr. Living Goods vitamin D3 and K2. You cannot take vitamin D3 without K2. K2 is the transporter. So if you're taking just vitamin D1, it's really not doing you any good. You got to get this formula. So I'm going to be giving away this bottle. I think this is like a $36 or $7 value. So I'm going to be giving it away this week. So if you share this video, whether you're watching the replay or whether you're just watching it now, or tag somebody in the video, then I'll put your name in the drawing, and I'll be drawing every night for a prize. Now this is a sample size, so I'm going to be doing that. So hey Candy, hey Patsy, hey Jan, Facebook's finally got it. Hey Bella, where you can finally see who's watching. For a while there, you couldn't see that. So all right, so let me go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is cholesterol. And people think cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol is not bad. Cholesterol is good. Our body makes cholesterol. About 60 to 70% of the cholesterol in our body is made innately within our body. It's endogenous, okay? And so it's the cholesterol from the outside that people are all concerned about, but I'm going to tell you that's not the problem. So tonight, I think you're going to learn something. You may even want to get a pencil and write some things down. So I'm going to move this closer. I know you can't read this. A lot of this is just for me just my notes, so I'm sure that I don't forget anything. But basically, what I want to teach you tonight is how to break up with drugs. And those drugs, hey Cecilia, those drugs are statin drugs, all right? And I'm going to tell you some things that are just, it's probably going to upset you, and it should upset you, but it's also going to give you information. So when you go back to your doctor, you'll know which questions to ask. And then at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join my challenge. I've got a new offering that I'm doing. It's a 4-week weight loss program. Learn exactly what to do, what supplements to take, what foods to eat to get healthy. At 66 years old, I feel great. I mean, I'm doing this at 8:30 at night. I got up early this morning. I've been busy all day, and it's because of how I fuel my body and the supplements that I take. So it's what we don't know that hurts us. It's what we don't know that hurts us. Okay, so I'm going to give you the 5 numbers that you need to know in order to ask your doctor the right questions when you go. Because so typically what people do, and I hear this all the time, I've helped over 1,000 people get healthy. I hear this all the time. They say, well, I went to the doctor and he said my blood work was good. And I'm like, but you're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. You've been that way for years. That can't be right. The reason they say it's good is because of what they're testing. They're not testing the more, they're not going deep enough. Let's just put it that way. They're not going deep enough. They're using tests that they've been using for years. And so what you're going to learn today, and you're probably going to want to write this down or maybe even watch it again, you're going to learn what to ask your doctor for, okay? That's the important thing, is knowing, having the right information. Hey, Linda, thank you for joining me. Okay, so the number one thing, the first thing you want to find out is what is your HDL and your total cholesterol ratio, all right? And so that should be about 25%. So your HDL maybe is going to be about 75, and your total cholesterol is going to be about 250. So that's going to be a so that's going to be like a 25% ratio, and that's a good number, okay? All right. The second thing you want to know is what is the ratio of your triglycerides to your HDL, okay? So the first thing is HDL to total cholesterol. The second one is your triglycerides to your HDL, and that should be about a 2. If it's less than that, then probably you're eating too much sugar and carbs that are not unhealthy carbs, is what I'm going to say. But it's kind of like your sucraloses, those oses, the sucralose, the dextrose, the high fructose corn syrup. Those are the ones that's going to be causing your triglycerides to go up. Okay, so your triglycerides, remember, is the amount of fat in your blood, and the fat you have in your blood is not from eating fat. It's not from eggs. It's not from bacon. It's not from meat. It is literally from sugars, okay, carbs. And so because that's what your body does when you eat carbs, your blood sugar level goes up, okay, and then your body produces insulin, and insulin is a fat storing hormone. And so it's going to store that fat for a long time, and then all of a sudden it can't store it anymore, and your cells literally become resistant to the insulin. So I'm about to share that with you. All right, so the third thing you want to know is about your LDL, okay? And that's your low density lipoproteins. And so if with your LDL, the important thing about your LDL is the size. It's not the amount, although it needs to be pretty relative. It's the size. And here's what I'm going to show you. Okay, so I know I drew this down here somewhere. Let me see if you can see this. So right here. So this is supposed to be your artery, and your blood and your cholesterol is floating through there. So if your LDL particles are small, and there's a test you do for this, it's called small particles. And you want to see how many of your LDL are small particles and how many are large particles. The reason is the large particles are like pillows. They just float through your arteries, but these small particles, they actually get stuck where there's a tributary. So if your artery breaks off, they're going to get stuck in there. And that's what causes heart attack and stroke, or cardiovascular disease. Vascular means the arteries. And so if you've got small particle LDL, then that's a problem. But you can change that, okay? You can change that by changing your diet, and that's what we're going to talk about. So I've got a story I want to tell you about statin drugs. Now, most people know that statin drugs are what they give you when your cholesterol is up. Let me put my glasses down, okay? So I want to tell you this story, and this is probably going to upset you. I know it upsets me, and it should upset us. So in 1980, if you had your cholesterol checked and it was 230, then that was normal, okay? In 1990, they changed it to 200. They lowered it 30 points, okay? So more people, of course, qualified for statin drugs. And then in 2011, it was 200. Now, 30 million people got on statins because they lowered that by 30 points. 30 million people in America. Think about that. That's a lot of money for the drug companies. Well, here's what we know now is there was a board of doctors, and they actually made this decision to lower the cholesterol number, which made you qualify for statin drugs. Now, let me tell you why your doctor orders statin drugs. One of the reasons, okay, is there is a standard of care, all right, that is published by the American Medical Association, the American Heart Association, okay? And if you go into that doctor's office and your cholesterol is 200 or more, then he is obligated by a standard of care to order those drugs. Does that mean you have to take it? No. You can tell him, well, can I work on it some other way? Do I have to take this medication? And I'm going to tell you why you want to question this, okay? You always want to question and get the right information about the drugs you're taking, because all of these drugs have side effects. So here, I want to go into this story over here. Okay, so let me see. Let me find out where it is. Okay, so right here. The FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, says, listen to this now, that taking statin drugs makes diabetes worse. Did you hear that? Taking statin drugs makes diabetes worse, and there are 30 million people taking statin drugs, all right? The American Heart Association reports and says, if you're diabetic, you should get statin drugs. What gives? Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you that the FDA says that statins make diabetes worse, but that if you are diabetic, the American Heart Association says to take statins? So let me tell you, in this report, the lead author of this report that changed that number had received money from 10 pharmaceutical companies. The second lead author of the study of the report received money from 8 pharmaceutical companies, and one other of the authors had stock in 8 pharmaceutical companies. So does it make sense that if they lower it by 30 points, 30 million people are going to get on the drugs? Who gets the main benefit from that? So this is why you have to be educated. You have to know that there are options. All right. So I want to say this right now. It's a disclaimer. I am not your medical doctor. All right. But there is research out there, a lot of research out there, that shows that statin drugs have tremendous side effects. And I sent out an email today that you're going to want to get. So if I don't have your email, you need to message me. I listed, I think, 6 of the side effects of statin drugs and why you don't want to take statin drugs. Now, if your doctor's got you on statin drugs, don't stop taking it. You need to talk to your doctor about this. But you also need to do your research and be and know your numbers. Okay, it may be that your LDL is high and it's your small particle, and if it is, good for you. Because let me tell you what your all right. So before I move on, I want to recap that these statin drugs will be given to you, will be recommended to you. I don't care who your doctor is. It's the standard of practice, unless you're seeing a functional medicine doctor, and they operate by a different standard of care. Okay, but think about it. Your doctor, that's what he has in his toolbox is drugs. He doesn't have a nutritionist. He's not going to sit down and talk to you about what you could do besides the drugs. He's probably going to tell you to lose weight, but he's not going to sit there and give you a meal plan. He might give you some papers, but he's not going to do like I do and coach you every day and tell you exactly what to eat so that you can actually get off your medication. And I had 13 people in my last challenge. I had 9 of the 13 that did the program. I'm sorry, let me get this straight. I had 13 people in my diabetes program, my reversing diabetes and weight loss program. 9 of them came off of their medicines. The other 4 didn't really do the program. Okay, they were busy, they didn't have the time, but the ones that did it got off of their medication, their diabetes medication, and they got off their blood pressure medicine, because insulin causes your blood pressure to go up. So we want to get the insulin out of our bodies, and the way we do that is we don't eat sugars. Okay, we keep our carbs low, and then your body will actually be able to have less insulin in your bloodstream. Okay, all right. So we talked about your LDL and your size matter. So you want to have them check and see if it's small particle or large particle. If your LDL is small particle or large particles, the small particles, what you don't want, because it's going to get stuck in the wall of your arteries. Okay. Now, all right, so here we go. The fourth thing you want them to check is your fasting insulin levels. And the reason you want to check that is if your fasting insulin levels are high, so they need to be between 2 to 6. But if they're high, that means you're eating too much sugar, all right? And so because you're eating more sugar, insulin is being released and it's piling up in your bloodstream, okay? You're not able to use it all, because the receptors on the walls of your cells there's inflammation there. So you're not able to use that insulin that's being released by your pancreas, okay? So you want to get your fasting insulin checked, and this insulin actually drives the production of triglycerides, and so we don't want too much of that, all right? And then the fifth thing is you want to check your blood sugar, and you can do that. I mean, I have a checker that I check that. I'm not diabetic or anything, but you can check that or have your doctor to check it, and it needs to be really around 80. They tell you to have it 100 or less, but I'm just going to tell you, if it's 80, you're in good shape. And here's Tanya. I see Tanya just jumped on here, and Tanya actually came off of some of her medication and got her blood sugar down from 250 down to 100, I think. Yeah, which is great. Okay, so you want your blood sugar to be south of 100. That's what we're shooting for. Now, when you first make the switch, it's not going to happen. It's going to take it a little while. But usually after 6 to 8 weeks, you can get that blood sugar down in the 80s range. That's by keeping your carbs under 20 a day. And exercise is going to bring your blood sugar down. A 10-minute workout. Tomorrow night, I'm going to tell you the things to do to get these numbers right. So I'm going to tell you, I think it's 6 things I'm going to tell you tomorrow that you can do to break up with your drugs. You want to break up with your drugs. Okay. So if your blood sugar is 110, 20, 30, 40, that means you're a sugar burner. Your body is producing a lot of sugar and insulin. And well, actually, it's not producing it. You're taking in more than you need, and your body's producing the insulin. And your receptor cells on your cell wall, they're just burned out, and so they're not able to take that insulin. The cell wall doesn't open, the sugar doesn't go in, and so you've got insulin in your blood, you've got sugar in your blood, and your cell doesn't have the energy, and that's why your energy levels are low. So if you're insulin resistant, your energy levels are going to be low. Okay, so let's see. So let me talk to you about cholesterol just a minute. So cholesterol actually takes care of damages in your arteries, all right? And your LDL is actually like the truck that transports it, okay? Um, and it's gonna, anytime you have damage like too much sugar, inflammation, all of that inside of the cell wall, the cholesterol's going there. And the purpose of it going there is to clean up the act. It's like your oxidized cholesterol is what you don't want, all right? So the LDL is going to go there to clean up, and the HDL comes and help. Well, actually, the LDL goes and it dumps out this waxy covering to protect that inflamed area, kind of like a scab on a sore, okay? And then the HDL comes and it does the cleanup. So if you have these two in good proportions, then you don't have a problem. It's when you get one too high, like your small particle LDL or your HDL too high, that you begin to have problems. So that's what we're going to work on. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow night. So come back tomorrow night at 8:30 about how we correct this. And I'm going to tell you, I see it happening all the time. My clients call after after about 6 weeks, they see their doctor and they say, my triglycerides came down 30 points, or my cholesterol was down 30 points. I know mine went down 39 points when I really implemented some of these things. So just want to encourage you in that. So, all right, I just want to make sure that I got everything covered. All right, so I want you to share this video. Let me hear from you if you know what your, if you know anything about your just put yes or no. If you know what your small particle, the amount of small particle LDL that you have and the amount of large particle, if that's something that you knew, or if that's new for you to understand that there's small particle and large particle LDL. Let me know in the comments. Just put it in the comments if you knew that. Okay. The other thing I want to ask you, if you knew that cholesterol was made by your body. Did you know that? Okay. Did you know that it's not bad? It's only bad if we're eating too much sugar and producing too much of it. There you go, Alexis. New for you. Good. Okay. So you're going to know now what to ask your doctor about when you go to see him. So if you go and he says, well, your cholesterol's up, the next question is, well, which cholesterol? Was it my small particle or large particle was up? What was my HDL and total cholesterol ratio? And if you've got your blood work, you can get it down and look at these things and see how you match up. And then you can say to your doctor, well, I think I'd rather try to get this down on my own because it's really not as bad as it appears, or as bad as it feels like it is. Because remember, he's ordering those drugs because you're at the 200 level. But there's a very good chance that you can bring it down. Yep, yep. Okay, so I want to make sure I covered everything. I got a lot of stuff up here, but I think I did. Okay, so my goal for you is to get you off your medicines, because all those medicines have side effects. And like I said, if you get my email, I sent out an email today with what statin drugs do to your body, and it's not a pretty picture. It's not a pretty picture at all. So I hope if I don't have your email, if you'll just put your email in the comments, or message me your email and I'll add it to my email list, because tomorrow I'm going to send out the replay of this. I'm going to summarize this in an email that's going out tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, come back at 8:30, and I'm gonna teach you the 6 things you can do to get off your drugs. All right. So thank you for joining me. And remember to share this video. Just hit that little arrow that makes it go forward, and people will be able to see it. And I am offering a challenge. It's a 4-week challenge. It's $47. I've never really offered this before, but well, I've done 2 classes now, so this is my 3rd class. This is a chance. You think, well, why would you offer it? That's really cheap. Yes, it is for what you're getting. Ask Alexa. She did the program. It's not cheap. It's not a high dollar program. But my goal is to get people into it and see that it's valuable and that they can actually get healthy. And so that's why I'm doing this. So I will put a link for you to join if you're ready to join. I think I've got about 20 spots left. Thank you, Alexis, for saying that. Yes, it is worth it. And I think you've lost 20 pounds. Is that how much you've lost, Alexis? And you've been in about 6 weeks, I think. You did the 4-week, and then you're keeping on going to get the rest of that weight off. So yes, thank you, Patsy, for sharing your email. Let's see who else is on here. I know Tanya has lost, I think it was 24 pounds. Okay, so Alexis has lost 22. Tanya has lost, I think, 24. Is that right, Tanya? And then let's see. Hey, Cindy. There's Martha. I know Martha's doing well in the program as well. There's Lisa. Oh, I know. I can't. Okay, let me see if I can flip the camera image. It won't let me. It's got some new things that show up now, Lisa. I do not know. I have no idea why it won't let me flip. I used to flip it all the time. But when I put let me see if I hit plus, yeah, that's not it. I used to flip it all the time, but something they've changed about Facebook, it won't let me flip it. It was flipped a while ago, I thought. Let me see. It's not, well, let's see. Nope. It's not letting me flip it. Nope, it's not letting me flip it. Nope, sorry. So 25 now. Way to go, Tanya. So you've lost 25 pounds. Great. Okay. Those are just effects that I'm putting on there. That's not what I'm wanting to do. Okay, maybe I'll have to Google it and find out how. Okay, well, thank y'all for joining me. Come back tomorrow night, share this video, tag some people that maybe need to hear it. Maybe some of your family is on cholesterol medicine. Give me your email, and I'm going to be sending out an email here in a few minutes. And I'll send out, if you give it to me tonight, I'll send out the one I sent today that talks about the effects of statin drugs, okay? So Lisa, yes, she's lost over 40 pounds so far. And with your doctor's supervision, you have come off metformin, and I can't see the rest of the comment. Awesome. Come off metformin and Farxiga. Awesome, 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 awesome. So proud of you. 40 pounds. Think about that. That is amazing. And you're just going to keep doing it. So let's see. Oh, here is Sarah Lynn. Uh-oh. I think Sarah Lynn joined by mistake. But Sarah Lynn, I'm happy for you to join me. Let me see if I can. I don't see you. Let's see. I can add you right here. Okay, I can't bring you back on. Oh, here we go. Maybe here. Okay, let's see. Tanya, I'm going to try to bring you on, Tanya. Are you okay with that? Let's see. I'm going to invite you and see if I can bring you on here. So maybe we can have a little bit of discussion. I sent it to you. Let's see. That's fine. Bring them on the video. Betsy Glisson. Hey, Betsy. I know my board is flipped. It's just the way the camera does, Lisa. And there used to be an attachment on here that you could flip, and it would flip it, but it's not letting me do it. I used to do it all the time. I mean, every video I've ever done, I flipped it. But for some reason, just recently, Facebook won't let me flip it. But I can Google it. Yep. Hey, Carol Ann. Hey, Shirley. I'm trying to get Tanya on here, but I can't get her on here. Yep. So anyway, okay, I'm about to jump off because I'm going to go send out the email, and I will see y'all tomorrow night at 8:30. So be sure and share this. If you share, I'm going to put you in the drawing for the vitamin D. So tomorrow night, I'm going to draw for the vitamin D, and then And then I'm going to draw for the Numi product, the skin product. Don't you just love my skin? It's amazing. I'm amazed at how much it's helping with wrinkles and just so many things. So yes, Numi is a great product, and I'd love to tell you about it. So if you want some information on that, just message me, and I'd love to give you some more information. So y'all have a great day and great night, and comment if this is new information to you. Y'all have a great night.